Hi. This is Dr. V. I am continuing with the conversation on diabetes. We are focusing this month on diabetes, giving you information. A lot of it is just bite-sized information to bring awareness, to introduce to you my natural solutions that has helped my patients for the past 15 years, that can also help you and your loved ones to help to manage your glucose naturally. 1 out of 10 adults worldwide has diabetes. This is a major problem. Diabetes is a systemic condition. And I also think the factors that lead to type 2 diabetes are also systemic. And we'll get deeper into those conversations as we talk more about diabetes. I have a lot of information for you. I have a lot of content. I have years of content from having been on the radio. I have years of content that I haven't shared with anyone yet that I wish to share with you. I just finished completing a 4 days intensive trauma training program, and this is a program that I enrolled in that will last 2 years. And that's because there's a link between trauma and the chronic conditions that are plaguing our society, including diabetes. So I will have tons of information to share with you. Whenever new information is coupled with my experiences, I always have aha moments. It's always seeing certain connections and like, oh my God, this makes sense. And so I have a lot of interests that are now colliding. And I found myself at the intersection of all of my interests, including my major before Oriental medicine, which was social sciences. So I love people, culture, world religion, sociology, psychology, geography, oceanography, anthropology. I love those things, and I value a liberal arts education. I think it helps us to get to know society more, to connect more. So connecting with everyone from around the globe is just so important for me. And doing what I love is also important for me. And I'm now choosing to expand Regulate My Health to a global company, and to have fun while doing it, to have fun while we heal, to bring joy back into our lives. We need joy to heal. We need peace. We need grace. And so there's nothing that's not connected to health and to healing. And these are also the basic principles of Chinese medicine, of Ayurveda. Everything is connected to health. In Ayurveda, your dharma, the path you choose for your work, can affect your health. Being in a profession that you love versus being at a job that you don't love could have an impact on your health. So everything is connected to health. So we'll be talking about everything, and we'll be talking about everything as it relates to diabetes. And anything I share as it relates to diabetes can help you even if you don't have diabetes, because diabetes affects all the systems, and any information that pertains to a system is a system that you have, even if you don't have diabetes. If I'm talking about liver health, you have a liver. If I'm talking about sleep, you sleep. If I'm talking about eye health, you have 2 eyes. So it's really for everyone. And most adults are at risk, and we get to take this journey together. And hopefully some of you are inspired to share this information with others so that we can make a difference in the lives of people that need to manage their glucose. But diabetes is way more than just my glucose level is high. There are things that can put us at risk, things that have to do with trauma, with emotions, with the home environment, our nervous system. Oh, I can't wait to get to the nervous system. Fight or flight, living a life on survival mode, years and years and years of living on survival mode can take a toll on the body, and it can affect all the systems. It can lead us to a path of hypertension, of cancer, of autoimmune diseases. It just so happened that I'm focusing on diabetes. That's just what I decided to focus on. But all of those informations, any tip I give can help any of you. So for today, when it comes to diabetes, we'll just talk a little bit about sleep. So when it comes to diabetes, I look at the actual condition. So let's say if this were a chart, and I love to write, so I'll have to create a setup where I have a board and I can write and share. By the way, my first major that I selected in college was social sciences education. And then I switched probably after a semester or two. I did get a chance to take some classes on education, and I love teaching. So one of my archetype is the teacher archetype. And we'll get to talk about the archetypes. So what are the archetypes and how do the archetypes impact our health? So much to talk about. And so I love teaching, so I'm gonna need like just a good old board and markers. I would love to have a board with actual chalk to write. That's how much I love that. So there's just gonna be everything. Okay, so right now I don't have something to write. So just picture you have diabetes in the middle. And then on this side, we have a list of the risk factors. And then on this side, we have a list of the complications. So you have the condition, the risk factors that led to the condition, and then the complications that come as a result of the condition. And these three things can be done for many conditions. So when I see a patient, when I diagnose a patient, and when I give a patient a treatment protocol, it might appear that this person has a lot of things to take, because I work with natural medicine. And so once I explain things to the patients, then they understand. So we're addressing the risk factors, we're addressing the actual condition that you have, and we're addressing the complications that already exist, or we're mitigating risk, we're reducing the risk for you to not develop the complications. So with diabetes, one of the risk factors that can put someone at risk for developing type 2 diabetes is insomnia, not getting proper sleep. So if you're not sleeping well, then you could be at risk for developing diabetes. And usually you're going to have pre-diabetes. So you have a little bit of a warning if you check with your doctors regularly, where you can see, oh, okay, my hemoglobin A1C is a little high, my glucose is a little high. Let me do everything I can to not have an official diagnosis. And then for some people, by the time they get a diagnosis, if they don't go to the doctor often enough, then the glucose may already be so high and they already have complications. And so with sleep, it actually, the relationship goes both ways. So remember with the liver, I mentioned that with the liver, people with diabetes could be at risk for liver disease. People with liver disease or having the liver not functioning properly could aggravate diabetes. So the relationship goes both ways. It's the same with sleep. So not getting enough sleep can put you at risk for developing type 2 diabetes. And also, when you have diabetes, the excess glucose that's circulating in your blood can actually put you at risk for developing insomnia. So you end up not getting proper sleep. So do you see how with the chronic condition, sometimes it becomes like a vicious circle? It's like, which one came first, the diabetes or the insomnia? And not everyone who's diabetic has insomnia, and not everyone who's dealing with insomnia will develop type 2 diabetes. The person might develop something else. And so one of the formulas that I have at Regulate My Health is the sleep regulator. It's a formula that has natural herbs that have no stimulant, no caffeine. So, you don't need caffeine for the sleep. So that's the energy formula. We'll get to that after. So it has, it's all natural. So it doesn't have anything that would be habit forming. I had a little bit of a brain fog where I was talking about the energy formula instead of the sleep formula, because I'm going to talk about the energy formula as well. And so the sleep formula has herbs that are considered adaptogens. So the adaptogens are herbs that can help to regulate your system when it comes to stress, to sleep, to energy, so that if you need to be relaxed, they'll help to relax you naturally. If you need a little bit of energy, they'll help to increase your energy. So they help to regulate you. So those are the type of herbs that the sleep regulator has. And so for some people, the reason that they're dealing with insomnia is because they also are drinking coffee in the morning because they have low energy. So when you drink coffee, the caffeine can keep you up at night. It doesn't necessarily keep you up right after you drink the caffeine. Just from drinking the caffeine, you might actually fall asleep just fine. And because you're a coffee drinker, you find yourself waking up at 2, 3 in the morning. And then you have difficulty falling back asleep, and then you don't get sleepy again until about 6 in the morning when it's time to wake up. And then at that time, if you fall asleep, when you wake up, you're going to wake up pretty groggy, and you're going to feel like you need caffeine. Or if you just say, I'm just going to stay up, well, you've been up for hours, you're going to feel like I need caffeine. So the energy regulator is the one that has no stimulants, no caffeine, also adaptogenic herbs to help to give you fresh energy, to help to regulate those systems, so that you're not drinking coffee, you're taking your energy regulator, and you take your sleep regulator, so now you can sleep better at night. That's one way that these natural formulas can help you with diabetes. So for most people, what they're looking for is a good grade. It's like, my glucose was high, my glucose was 160, 200. I want it to be normal. It's like, I got my report card, I passed. My A1C was high, now it's normal. Here's my report card, I passed. So if my A1C is normal, my glucose is normal, that must mean I'm healthy. That's a really good thing. We want to celebrate it. We really do want to celebrate it. That's an awesome thing to be able to go from these abnormal numbers back to normal. But we still want to address the root cause of the problem. And so if you do not address the root cause of the problem, now you're prone to having the same thing happen again. So a lot of the formulas I have on the website are things that could be combined, so that as you go through the education through these videos, you yourself can take charge of your health naturally, and you yourself can say, I haven't been sleeping well, I have low energy, and I'm stressed. And then we have a third formula, that's the stress regulator. And you can actually take all three together. They're designed to be taken together. We are supposed to have a package with all three. I'm not sure if we have it right now on the website, but we're gonna have it. We had it in our previous site, Primordial Herbs. I rebranded from Primordial Herbs to Regulate My Health. And so when we had Primordial Herbs, that package is a package that a lot of people would get, because it's one way to reset your system to help to reduce those risk factors. So it's the sleep regulator, energy regulator, stress regulator. I will do another video on this just because it's so important. I might do multiple videos on this just because it's just so important. And this is something that can help you even if you don't have diabetes. Because before developing any of the chronic conditions, we tend to get little signs. Our bodies tell us things. It could be years of I'm waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning. I can't fall back asleep. I wake up groggy. I need my coffee. Oh, I need my coffee. Years of I'm so stressed. And when you're stressed, it dysregulates your system. Now you're in survival mode. Now you're operating from fight or flight. I named the company Regulate My Health because of the name Regulate. I actually wanted to name it just Regulate, but that was taken. Because it's all about regulation. So for me, it's all about parasympathetic regulation. And we're going to go deeper into that. Switching from fight or flight to being parasympathetic dominant. Living a life of low stress, living a life of peace, living a life of grace, living a life where the body can heal itself. So those are the things that we will talk about this month, throughout the year, every chance I get, because diabetes doesn't take a day off. Every day people are getting diagnosed. Every day people are dealing with the risk factors, and every day people are having the complications. So when I get my board, I used to have a board. I have to look for it or purchase a new board. I'm pretty sure my staff will say, let's just create a graphic and insert it into the video. We might have to do that. But I want my board. When I get my board, I will draw and we'll look at all the risk factors and all the complications. The more information you have, the more power you have. And it's not just about information, it's about solution. So if I came in and I talked to you about sleep and energy and stress, and I didn't give you a natural solution, I would do you a disservice, especially since these are things that have helped my patients. These are things that have helped people over the years. And what I want to really focus on is that these formulas come from plants. These plants have been around way before us as humans. So when I talk about these solutions, I want the plants, I want the herbs, I want the formulas to be the star. Because that's what's going to help you when you take it. When you take an adaptogenic herb, it will help to regulate your system. These plants have been doing that for human beings for millennia. So this is not like, oh my God, I'm this genius that's coming up with brand new things. These are plants that have been around for millennia. I'm just making them accessible to you. I'm selecting what works so that you have access to them and you have the solutions at your hand and you have the power. So let us always, 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 always honor the plants, honor the planets. Plant a tree, water a tree, save the environment, because these plants are healers. And a lot of things are nature is a healer. Going to the beach, looking at a sunset, looking at a sunrise. These things, they regulate us. I have a lot for you that's coming up. We're going to talk about regulation and what that means. Can't wait for the next video. I can't wait to continue the conversation. Please comment, like, subscribe, share. Let me know what you want to hear about next, and I will be sure to do a video. Take care. See you next time. And I get to hit the clicker.